Hello again, folks. This is the Lady Autist coming to you. So, we got a few things to go over, so we're going to do something I try to avoid if at all possible. There's going to be, again, hold up, two separate videos today. So, thankfully, I can go ahead and report that it looks like, at least at the moment, the drama down with the actually autistic hashtag has finally started calming down a little bit. I haven't really seen anything in the morning or throughout the afternoon that isn't the normal stupidity that is easily avoided and ignored. So, glad to go ahead and report that, but there are some things that I'll probably get a few unfollows, definitely a whole lot of dislikes, but I'm sorry folks, I'm an honest person, and at this point, I can't help myself. So what are we going over today? We are going over pseudoscience. So, pseudoscience, when it comes to autism, when I became aware of it, it had all to do, started up with the controversy with Andrew Wakefield, or at least that's where I started when I first started to see this pop up throughout the whole autism thing here. So Andrew Wakefield was a doctor. I think he was from the UK here, UK. I don't exactly remember. It's been a few years. But he was the first doctor that asserted that vaccines, in particular, to be specific and to be fair, to get all of the shots, the prenatal, no, not prenatal, but the post-birth shots that you give your child for leukemia, the TB, and everything, that getting those series of shots close together could cause autism. And this was many, many years back. But that assertion has caused massive damage. I hope it's not irreparable damage. I am hoping against hope that science and logic will go ahead and ultimately win the day. But it did go ahead and get started with the vaccines causes autism. Eventually, doing more research, they've ascertained everything from too much at once to the mercury in the vaccines. I'm not going to get into all the reasons why that's false. That there are numerous studies and doctors and scientists with way more education in the vaccination subject than myself, who have things all over the internet on that subject, so I won't get into it. But I do know from that original assertion, it's like this whole brand new field of pseudoscience has come up since then. Now, this is where it gets crazy. It's like there is a brand new, unfailable cure every single week in regards to autism. Everything from fixed lucky gut syndrome with, oh, give me a sec. Excuse me. Everything from fixing the leaky gut syndrome to, oh, remove the mercury. Ah, yes, I forgot. Remove the mercury pads, attach them to your foot. It will remove the mercury and help fix your child. It's been a little nuts, some of the pseudoscience that's come out of all of this. There's been pseudoscience, and not just that. Due to the massive ableism that is in the media, systematic throughout the healthcare system, autism is worse than death, don't you know? Because of that, parents have stopped vaccinating their children. So there are real life consequences to, but this all started with Andrew Wakefield. Those real life consequences were diseases that were wiped out decades and decades ago have started to make a comeback. In particular, 3 that used to kill people, that used to be major epidemics. What are those? Those are polio. Polio's made a comeback. After years and years, we're talking since the 30s, polio's been gone. All of a sudden, early 2000s, due to this vaccine nonsense, it's made a comeback. What else has made a comeback? Whooping cough. Whooping cough has made a comeback. And also, smallpox. Now, I don't know what they're teaching in history class these days, but smallpox used to wipe out whole towns, whole cities, thousands dead, and now it's back, something that we also eradicated a long time ago. So, you are saying 2 things when you go with this anti-vax. Either you are so inundated with how awful autism is that you would rather leave your kid unvaccinated and possibly put them in danger of getting sick and possibly dying, or another child who for legitimate medical reasons cannot receive the vaccines in danger. You would prefer basically that either your child end up sick from one of these diseases or that they end up dying, as opposed to the child possibly having autism. Think of the message that sends to us. You know? When your parents would prefer that you would have gotten sick with polio, whooping cough, or smallpox over the fact that you just happen to have a neurological disorder, think about how that makes us feel. And in spite of what some may say, we do have feelings, and we do understand a lot more than what we're given credit for. Okay? Nonverbal does not mean non-competent. Or, number 2, you really buy into this. You really buy into it's the vaccine's fault, so there's got to be an answer. And that's when the snake oil salesmen from the years of yore come in to take care of your needs. I've said this in an earlier video. These are the folks that peddle powders, pills, superfoods, tablets, all kinds of craziness. All kinds of craziness. And some of them are just downright stupid. Downright stupid. My favorite is bleach. Bleach. I'll say it again. Bleach. And this has actually become quite a large business. People are making money off of these false idea that vaccines cause autism, vaccines cause leaky guts, or whatever new reason they've decided how vaccines cause autism on today, on Friday here in October. It's a new thing every day. It's messed our head up. It's messed our gut up. Whatever. Now, for those of you who are going to get sensitive on this topic, hold up. I'm not saying your kid may not have a few stomach issues. I certainly did as a kid. I don't have them anymore. Your kid may have stomach issues. But stomach issues do not equal autism. Stomach issues are not neurological issues. They're two separate things, which is important when you go and speak to your doctors. There might be something going on with their stomach that they might need treatment for. That would be a responsible thing to do, as opposed to buying these expensive snake salesman, pseudo cures. The responsible thing is, your kid is having trouble with their stomach, take them to the doctor, find out what's going on, get them real medicine that can actually address the issue. So, anti-vaccination is costing desperate parents millions of dollars every year. It's costing the general population our herd immunity. Diseases that were tackled years and years ago are making a comeback. More children are getting sick. Yes, some have even died. This is not misinformation. Please go ahead and look it up. So, pseudoscience and anti-vax do go hand in hand. Now, some parents are going to tell me, I don't know their child. I've heard that line 10 million times. Please don't start with that line. Please. Anyways, and that the symptoms for autism started showing up right after their MMR vaccine. That they were perfectly normal, and they were talking, hitting all of their milestones until they hit that MMR. Here's the thing. I do listen to facts and the numbers talk. Numbers do show. When you go over these parents' stories, that they're not making it up. But here's what I noticed. Every single one of these stories, at least that I've read, I may have not caught them all, usually not long after the shot, there is some form of seizure. Some form of seizure that goes on. And then after that seizure, that's when the speech patterns start going away. The sensory issues become heightened. Now, there is a thing that is called childhood epilepsy that starts, I don't want to give an exact age, I'm not quite sure, but it's during an early stage of brain development. Childhood epilepsy, I imagine, just like anything else, can be triggered. It can be triggered. So, I think in a lot of these cases, these kids may have had childhood epilepsy, where they did go get their shots. The shots, I still don't think that they caused the epileptic seizure, but there's a small margin of possibility that it may be possible. Now, anyone who's dealt with someone with epilepsy, you know when they come out of their seizures in the very beginning, when they're first getting over it, they experience those issues. It is hard for them to speak. Their sensory is all kinds of whacked out. The, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm really thinking that the parents are not completely, I don't think they're entirely delusional. There is obviously something that is going on. But I think that this is maybe something to do with childhood epilepsy, which explains why, as the child gets older and as they get out of that childhood epilepsy, why some of the things that they lost in early childhood due to the epilepsy, as their brain develops, they become quote unquote more normal. It's not that the kid is cured of autism. It's that the issues that caused the initial relapse have been slowly over time overturned. Now that's just my theory. Now, I am leaving my comments off on this. I know otherwise I'm going to be looking at quite a bit of abuse from others. I have dealt with it before, and quite frankly, I don't have the tolerance or the time to deal with it. For those who watch my JDAH videos, I do want to give it a little bit more time to stay just to see if there's any more developments. I will come back at you later with a video on that. And in the meantime, please, this is a small channel. Please like our vid if you like this content. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I hope you have a good one. Thank you.